For me, the highlights included not only the food that we ate, the people that we met, but also the community and the sense of community that the locations had. In Hot Springs, especially the Cherokee Nation, um, it was all about community, building a community together. That was inspirational. Also, the small parishes that we got to see, the architecture, how they were built, the time frames that they were built in.
For me, it's basically the whole trip was basically amazing, but there was one thing that stood out in particular, and that was, of course, the weather. The climate was much cooler, much more pleasant than what we're accustomed to here in Texas. So when we left, it was about around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and when we had gotten just into Hot Springs, it was at least 80 degrees. So the weather was just far better.
So, guys, what were some of the surprises or challenges during the journey?
There were a couple of challenges. One in particular was that when we were in Hot Springs, every day from about around like 3 to 3:30, it would rain, and it would rain a lot. So one of the things we had to take account in is that we had to watch where we were. Like we had to make sure we weren't out and about at about around 3 to 3:30 because we didn't want to get caught up in this torrential downpour. And we had to make sure that we were either A, safe at our campsite, or B, safe somewhere in like a building, because this rain would be heavy. It wouldn't be like just a normal sprinkle.
And actually, as we talk about the rains that occurred, uh, there were the moment that we were actually entering into Hot Springs was the moment that I was actually driving, and one of the torrential rains that actually was occurring. I have never driven in that amount of rain, certainly not on a mountain because we're not in the mountainous region here. So that was very intense and nerve-wracking and scary. Lightning, as a matter of fact, lightning hit the side of a mountain, which I had never seen. It happened a couple of times while we were traveling that I happened to be driving while it was raining and you were actually navigating for me.
How did we keep a team engaged between destinations?
Well, keeping a teen engaged during destination is hard for any trip. For a trip that's over 2,000 miles, that's very challenging. I would say that there are certain responsibilities and tasks that we asked our son to be a part of: the planning, the procedure. Navigation was a big one because when he was navigating, one of us could be resting in the back of the truck.
Correct.
So if you engage your teen in part of the process, a part of the journey, in fact, like getting him to choose destinations and visits of the destinations, like whatever it would be that they would want to do, I think that engages
Also,
the teen tremendously.
adding food, snacks, preparing lots of snacks. Food tends to assist with um, keeping your child engaged. Just be mindful of how often they are eating it. Make sure they don't eat it all in one day. Also, the other thing is we created a game where we chose 3 songs of what we heard when we were 16, his age at that time, and we exposed him to what we used to listen to. So there were songs that he had never heard before, and loved the reaction that he had to that music.
So music and beats from the 60s, the 70s, and 90s for a teen in today's era was pretty cool to see him engage in that and talk about it, and who was that, and oh my gosh, this sounds like this song or that song. So that was pretty cool to see, and that was a wonderful time when we were able to do that because it was kind of cross-culturing things. It was pretty cool.
The other thing that you can also do with your child, because most children have some type of cell phone, is to allow them to video or take pictures of areas that while we were busy driving and navigating, we weren't able to see a lot of different areas, trying to focus on what we were doing. So we allowed him to video and take pictures, and it's wonderful to see the scenery from the eyes of a youth.
Yeah, this is true when you're off-roading. I typically I'm the main driver when we do off-roading, and some of the mountain roads up there were pretty tight. And when he was able to take photos and video of these certain areas of the United States, I was able to concentrate on driving. And in some of those videos and in some of those pictures that you'll see in the series of U.S. exploration, that's actually his work. So guys, there you have it. When a family comes together, plays together, prays together, they stay together. So all the videos, all my maps, all the destinations, all the waypoints are there for you. Join us on this adventure. CatholicCamper.com, Catholic Camper on YouTube, even Blogger. Don't forget to catch Moose's adventures as well for the kiddos. Okay, so peace out and health and stay safe.